So the last time we talked about your wonderful collection, your high clarinet collection, and I asked myself, last time we talked about the G clarinet, the high G, the Schrammel, the clarinet for Schrammel, and I
yes,
see
yes.
in the background also another two clarinets, and I thought I couldn't remember if you talked about every clarinet you had on your chair, or if you missed
Ah,
some clarinets.
okay,
So
because no,
if there's anything we need to
yes,
know.
actually, I didn't put all the clarinets I had last time, but I can just state that because they are not so far away from me, if you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because,
If you want to talk, because you had so many instruments on your chair, and I couldn't remember if you talked about every clarinet or if you
for
showed.
example, here I am. Okay, I showed you the Ubel D clarinet.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, and actually I have in my collection also a D clarinet from Euler. Euler.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
Euler system. Euler is the maker. I think it's from the beginning of 20th century, more or less.
okay.
Yes, very good condition.
Yeah,
You know,
really good.
also the original mouthpiece. I have a wooden original mouthpiece.
Okay.
Have you tried to play on wooden mouthpiecing on D clarinet or never?
Never tried. Never tried. What was your experience?
Because I know it is not so easy to find the right reeds. The facing are not stable. And sometimes to find the right reeds, you get crazy.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
crazy.
And which ligatures do you use for the high clarinets? Just do you
String, always
string?
string.
Okay, because
I am
we couldn't
quite
see
fond
it.
of string. Yes,
Just string,
yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I know that in Vienna you have the tradition of the metro ligature, inverted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because you want to get a more compact sound, more, I mean, like
Yeah.
this energetic sound. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. And in Milano or in Italy, do a lot of people use the string, or how is the philosophy in Milano?
No, I wouldn't. No, nobody. I mean, nobody.
Nobody.
And maybe one or two students of mine, maybe one. And because they are just looking at me doing like this all the time, and they try, but I don't tell them, I don't force them to do that, of course, because they are not playing German clarinets, Viennese clarinets, German mouthpieces. So, and no sense to use this one. In some cases, if they want to make experiments,
Yeah.
and I'm just keeping saying that with the string, you can get more vibrations from the reed. Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
vibrates more.
very free response and very sound is more flexible, and they could try to do like that. But
Yeah.
it's very personal, very personal. But I know that also in Germany now, this tradition is just, I mean, not so strong like in the past. Yeah,
Okay.
also in Germany,
Where did you learn it?
not so difficult. I mean, because I
Did you learn
had
it in Germany, or did you where?
no, nothing. Because I was very fond of German and Viennese school since I was 16, 17, 18, when I was a student. I was listening to other recordings of Prince, Schmidl, Leister, Klöcker, Viennese and German clarinet players. I preferred,
Yeah.
from the Italian players. I had in my mind sort of craziness about
Yeah.
this. And my old teacher, Primo Borali, he was principal at Radio Orchestra of Milan. He was looking at me a little bit like, are you sure about that? Are you sure? I wanted to use the German mouthpiece on the French system clarinet.
Yeah.
And usually, I think I graduated, the last 2 years, I graduated using a German mouthpiece on a French system clarinet.
Okay. Wow, amazing.
Donation could be good, but this mouthpiece was a little bit strange. I have it now, but I wouldn't be able to play it now. But at those times, so I have some recordings of my exam, and it was not so bad. I mean, the brand was Solist. It was a mouthpiece I got in the DDR, the old DDR. Before 1989.
Wow.
I got when I was there. I got some mouthpieces, and they could match with my clarinet, French system.
And since then you use the string, or since then you use the string?
Yes.
Also for the high clarinets, or?
Yes. I have also the ligature. I have the metal ligature. Also the Viennese one, I have it.
Yeah.
And also on the B-flat clarinet, actually, I played a few times, not so many times, 2 or 3 times, using a Viennese mouthpiece, using the metal ligature.
Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Maybe when I was using plastic reeds, I wanted to have a more compact sound with the plastic reed, so I used the metal ligature. But I'm not so crazy about plastic reeds. What about you?
No, I also prefer cane reeds. For me, it's more comfortable to play, and they give me a warmer sound. And until now, I didn't find the right material, so yeah, I just use the cane reeds.
Because the plastic reeds, they can give you not a bad sound. It is not so bad, but we don't have warmness. We don't have the right vibration, the right harmonics.
Yeah.
And the sound is like this, no color. No?
Yeah.
It is not personal. It's something, a routine sound. I mean, it depends on the player, the mouthpiece could be also.
Depends on the material, yeah. But you also have to look for a really good material, and it also needs a lot of time searching the one reed with the one mouthpiece. So, yeah.
I noticed that on the French mouthpiece, the result is not as good as on the Viennese mouthpiece. On Viennese mouthpiece, the sound is pretty good anyway. Yeah.
And maybe they improved it, or maybe they worked more on the details.
Because the facing is closer and the sound is compact and round anyway.
Yeah, it helps. Maybe the system helps.
On the French mouthpieces, facing is, bigger, and the space is bigger, and the sound is, I would say, hollow. Just
hollow,
not like this, but like this. So not sad. But some players in Italy, I mean, very good players in Italy, they're using plastics. I'm talking about Corrado Giuffredi, Beltramini, also virtuoso player.
Yeah, also on the high clarinets, or in general?
No, high clarinet, I don't know, really, because they are not playing high clarinet. They are principal player, Lugano Radio Orchestra in Switzerland.
Okay.
They don't play high clarinets, I think. They can play very good, but usually they wouldn't. I know that Corrado Giuffredi played once, and it is a video with Marta Argerich in Lugano. He played, what was it? It was, there is a piece of chamber music with, it could be Janacek, something.
Yeah.
Could be Concertino, Janacek, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, and there is a video, I could play very well, but I am not informed about the material and everything. I don't know.
Last time we talked about your experience as a young person in the Radio Symphony Orchestra.
Yes.
And I asked myself, like, how was the situation in these times? Was there one specialist for the high clarinets, or did your teacher also played E-flat clarinet, or how was the situation in this time?
In those times,
In those
I
times.
was, you know, quite young. I was 18 or 19 years old. My teacher knew that I was able to play the E-flat clarinet. I was studying for some auditions for a European orchestra.
Yeah.
And so he was noticing that I was quite good on the E-flat clarinet.
Yeah.
So he decided to call me, and for me it was a very big responsibility to play in a symphonic orchestra. Can you just imagine?
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah,
Also, you experienced the same, I think.
yeah.
And
So,
you became a real specialist.
yeah. Because I asked myself how the situation is in Italy. If you have a symphony orchestra and you have, let's say, 4 clarinetists, if there is one person or two first players,
Okay.
solo clarinet players, and if the second clarinet player does play the high clarinets or just the solo, if the solo
No.
clarinetist plays the high clarinets. Because like you remember, like the last time we talked about Karl Leister, and you said like, well, in his young years, he also played the E-flat clarinet in the orchestra, and then like later came Walter Seifert, and then they made, I think, a position just for the high clarinets. But he played second clarinet with E-flat. So I asked myself, how was it in your times, and how is it now? How is the system or?
At those times, when I was young, Radio Orchestra of Milan, there was, second clarinet playing also E-flat.
Okay.
Principal clarinet, no E-flat at all. I just remember when I played Berlioz Symphony Fantastique.
Yeah.
You know that in the last movement, the principal player should take the E-flat.
Yeah.
No, in those times. So there was the second clarinet was the first clarinet. No, that it is in the part, and the principal clarinet, no part. There was E-flat clarinet player only for the last movement.
Yeah, we have the same situation. We played with 3 clarinets, and one person just plays the E-flat clarinet at the end. And sometimes the first clarinetist doubles the second clarinet then, or the other clarinet part.
I know that, for example, in the States, very often the principal clarinet, they can play also E-flat. They can also take the E-flat clarinet, and it's something quite normal. I mean, in Chicago, in New York, I think, John Bruce, or there was Mark Lucio in New York Philharmonic, was co-principal, also E-flat. Mark Lucio.
Yeah.
But not in Italy. Can you just remember, for example, Mahler number 1?
Yeah.
There should be 2 E-flat clarinets. I can remember the radio orchestra, principal, second clarinet, third clarinet with E-flat, fourth clarinet with E-flat, and bass clarinet also.
Yeah.
5 clarinet instead of 4, I think.
Yeah.
Bass clarinet, he played only bass clarinet, not other parts. And they wanted to have more players. And that's the politics in Italy. If you can get more jobs, they put more money, and instead of save money and to have only 2 or 3 players, but they wouldn't accept in Italy. They wouldn't accept. There could be another player. We just call another player. So but La Scala, E-flat player is just specialist. All the solo parts are E-flat, or D, or just one player, specialist.
Okay.
And they just accepted. They just made a competition at La Scala a few months ago for the new flat player.
Okay, this is interesting. Interesting. And how runs the audition? Were the high clarinets then in the last round? Do you know it?
I think in particular, the last one, actually, I don't know the details. And actually, the winner was my student.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
Yeah. Antonio Duca. Antonio Duca was
Okay.
studying with me 20 years ago. 20 years
Okay.
ago. And he was able to play in some orchestras in Italy, in Florence, in Trieste, in a theater in Trieste. And after 20 years, just making good experiences as a second clarinet and E flat, he wanted to attend this competition, La Scala. And in the last 2 years, I think, they made 2 or 3 auditions before accepting the new one. And that's a policy in La Scala. They make so many competitions before.
Yeah.
1, 2, or 3, or 4 auditions, and
Wow.
then they can choose a principal clarinet. Also, new principal clarinet they have now.
Okay.
A new E flat clarinet. I think they should also play the clarinet. The solo parts of the second clarinet.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Yeah.
But after that, only E flat. Only E flat.
Only flat. Okay. Only flat parts.
Till the end. They
Okay.
have 2 rounds or 3 rounds. I think 2 rounds. And there is a final, with the chief conductor, of course.
Okay.
But the jury is only with 3 or 4 people, not more. I know that in Austria and Germany, all the orchestra decided.
Yeah, nearly the orchestra. Yeah. Half of the
Also in
orchestra.
Vienna, also in Vienna.
At the end, yeah. In the pre-auditions, there's just a clarinet group, and then, like in the normal audition, you have a part of the orchestra, and sometimes it's also at the end in the final round can also be like for solo positions that there's a last round with the whole orchestra. So you play your solo parts together with the orchestra, and then we decide. Yeah, it's also like this, like a larger group, and yeah, can help, but it also cannot help to decide.
And I must say that another student of mine recently took up the E flat clarinet. I mean, 2 years ago, just to prepare some auditions, and I studied with also with Carbonare in Rome.
Yeah.
And so it was so good that Carbonare called him 1 month ago, I think, at Santa Cecilia Orchestra, Academy to play Shostakovich number could be number 10.
Yeah.
One of the hardest solo parts.
Or 6, yeah. 6
6
is also...
maybe. I don't remember which one, with high parts and something quite hard.
Yeah.
Also, my student was so happy to be part of this orchestra, which is one of the best in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I asked myself, what was the hardest work or piece you played on the high clarinets? D or E flat or?
Yes, I think Ravel concerto, piano concerto.
Piano concerto.
Yeah. I played 2 or 3 times. Because after all the bars you have to count, it's something quite shocking,
Yeah, you have to count first, and you know.
Yeah, you have to be well prepared in the mind.
Yeah.
And to be able to be, the right tempo, the right intonation, the right, very, how do you say, the sound must project very well in the whole.
Yeah. Yeah. This excerpt, yeah, this was very hard, yeah, to play. Like if you play it loud, sometimes it also happened to me that like just I missed the high note because I played so loud that the lower note came. So yeah, but not in the concert.
Yeah.
Just in the rehearsal.
No problem. Sometimes, nobody's perfect. 100%.
Can happen. And last time we listened to your CD, what was the hardest piece to record on your CD?
I recorded the Ponchielli. Was not really so easy, but you know, after you practice it a little bit, and you play maybe 2 or 3 times in a concert, maybe it is not so really hard. So I happened that I recorded 2 times, both on French system, on German system.
Yeah, so the fingerings were different.
Yeah, 20 years ago, I played on the French system. We made the recording at the hall of Turin hall in the Conservatory, which is a very nice hall, very nice acoustic, on the buffet, which was not really so bad, very round and warm sound.
Yeah.
But after, you know, all the years that I was collecting clarinets, I was able to get a good E flat, I mean the U-bill, and I decided now I have to make this new recording on the German system.
Yeah.
So, and I was practicing, and I recorded it on the wooden mouthpiece.
Ah, really? Yeah.
Yes, on the wooden mouthpiece, the original wooden Uber mouthpiece.
Okay.
I mean, the 50s or 60s, very old one.
Amazing, yeah.
I mean, the sound was quite warm and compact. Not really big, but very warm.
Yeah.
I like it. But as I told you before, to find good reeds, it's quite an enterprise, quite a really difficult.
Okay, yeah. Okay, interesting.
I had maybe 1 or 2 reeds available, not more.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to take the risk. So
yeah.
and